William, the second son of a prosperous farming family in Bolton, Ontario, just north of Toronto, is born on June 24, 1893. In November of 1911, the young man travels west to apply for a parcel of land being offered by the Dominion of Canada to encourage people to move to the new province of Saskatchewan. For a registration fee of $10, a parcel of 160 acres of land is granted to an applicant. For nearly 4 years, William farms his homestead. But on August 4th, 1914, Canada enters World War I alongside Britain and begins a propaganda campaign recruiting young men to the cause. William joins the 46th Battalion of the Canadian Expeditionary Force in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan on May 10, 1915. In October of 1915, they travel to Halifax and board the SS Lapland to sail for England. They arrive at Plymouth Harbor on October 31st and begin a 3-mile march to Bramshot Camp for further training. The new recruits are anxious to see action in France. But as William writes in a letter to his father in 1916, "We have given up hope of ever going. I think they're going to send us back to Canada for home guards. We got our bayonets sharpened last week, and that might help." On June 16, 1916, William finally leaves for France and begins duty with the 58th Battalion. The war continues, and on April 9, 1917, Canada orchestrates a major attack against the enemy at Vimy Ridge in France. This is a defining moment in Canadian history and shows the world the bravery and determination of the young country. Only 2 months after Vimy Ridge, William's battalion is relieving another group of soldiers, and he is wounded by an enemy bullet and dies on June 17, 1917, only 1 week before his 24th birthday.
Well, how do you do, young Willie McBride? Do you mind if I sit here down by your graveside and rest for a while 'neath the warm summer sun? I've been walking all day and I'm nearly done. I see by your gravestone you were only 19 when you joined the great fallen in 1916. I hope you died well, and I hope you died clean. Or young Willie McBride, was it slow and unseen? Did they beat the drum slowly? Did they play the fife lowly? Did they sound the death march as lowered you down? Did the band play the last post and chorus? Did the pipes play the flowers of the forest? Did you leave a wife or a sweetheart behind? In some faithful heart is your memory enshrined. Although you died back in 1916, in that faithful heart are you forever 19? Or are you a stranger without even a name, enclosed then forever behind a glass frame? In an old photograph, torn, battered and stained, and faded to yellow in a brown leather frame. Did they beat the drum slowly? Did they play the fife lowly? Did they sound the death march as they lowered you down? Did the band play the last post and chorus? Did the pipes play the flowers of the forest? The sun, now it shines on the green fields of France, There's a warm summer breeze makes the red poppies dance. And look how the sun shines from under the clouds. There's no gas, no barbed wire, there's no gun firing now. But here in this graveyard, it's still no man's land. The countless white crosses stand mute in the sand. To man's blind indifference to his fellow man, to a whole generation that were butchered and damned. They beat the drum slowly, did they play the fife slowly, did they sound the death march as they lowered you down? Did the band play the last post and chorus? Did the pipes play the flowers of the forest? I am Willie McBride, I can't help wonder why. Do those that I hear know why did they die? And did they believe when they answered the call? Did they really believe that this war would end war? The sorrow, the suffering, the glory, the pain, the killing and the dying was all done in vain. For young Willie McBride, it all happened again, again and again and again and again. Did they beat the drum slowly? Did they play the fife slowly? Did they sound the death march as they lowered you down? Did the band play the last post and chorus? Did the pipes play the flowers of the forest? Did they beat the drum slowly? Did they play the fife slowly? Did they sound the march as they lowered you down? Did the band play the last post and chorus? Did the pipes play the flowers of the forest?
On November 11th, 1918, the war to end all wars is over, but not forgotten. Near the small town of Vimy, in northern France, the French people give land to Canada, on which is built a monument to remember their fallen soldiers. All around there are reminders of the Great War. Signs and fences keep people off the grass, and trenches snake through the landscape as they did in 1917. Craters from explosions dot the gently rolling hills and remind us of the destruction of war. In a small nearby town of Petite Vimy is a British cemetery where soldiers who died in the area in 1916 and 1917 are buried. William is buried here, and for nearly 100 years his gravesite has been maintained but rarely visited. William and his fallen comrades cannot be forgotten.